a third explication of this short paragraph from my book, A Monk's Meditation, the Non-Dual Heart of the Jesus Prayer. The soul in Samadhi knows itself as unlimited. Such a soul is divinely empowered. It is saturated with God. It has merged with its source and has returned to childlike and spontaneous consciousness, bliss consciousness, cosmic consciousness. So I did just a very short reading of this, and then a medium length explanation, reading also from The Holy Science by Sri Yukteswar, that master meditator and healer. And I also wanted to do a little bit longer explication now, just taking it line by line. The first line, the soul in Samadhi knows itself as unlimited. Well, the higher Samadhi of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, which Yogananda talks about even from the beginning of his autobiography of a yogi, which is Introduction to Kriya Yoga philosophy, reminds us that as we go deeper and deeper in this process of meditation, we begin to encounter the source of our self, the source of our consciousness, which is so pure and so powerful that it wakes us up to the reality of our higher potential. It reminds us that we are unlimited. So the soul in Samadhi knows itself as unlimited. Second line, such a soul is divinely empowered. It is saturated with God. So such a soul is divinely empowered. It's no longer empowered merely by the ego, like most of us, including myself. But as that ego begins to return to soul, okay, through meditation, we merge the ego into soul consciousness and soul into spirits, as Yogananda reminds. Then we begin to wake up to this higher power that's in us of pure consciousness, which is capable even of resurrecting the dead, as Yogananda himself facilitated. It has merged with its source and has returned to childlike and spontaneous consciousness. So it has merged with its source in cosmic consciousness, okay? And in that cosmic consciousness, there is a sense of ever new bliss, ever new purity of thought, of bliss consciousness. And then the final line is cosmic consciousness, right? So it reads, it has merged with its source and has returned to childlike and spontaneous consciousness, bliss consciousness, cosmic consciousness. So this idea that the pure consciousness that's in us, what does it feel like? Do we have any way of beginning to go towards it, beginning to imagine even what it might be like? Well, again, Yogananda and other meditation masters, Christ, Buddha, Krishna, remind us that this pure consciousness has the ever new taste of bliss. It's a bliss that's ever new, and that it guides us deeper into our true identity and guides us towards not only what we call salvation or self-realization, the realization of ourself as soul, eternal and incorruptible, but as we go deeper on this path, we begin to realize that we have found satisfaction of also our smaller, healthy desires, like maybe the desire to kayak on a certain river or something like that. So as we go deeper and deeper into this practice of meditation, we begin to find satisfaction for all of these different cravings that are natural to us, and we no longer have those cravings because they become satisfied as we meet our healthy desires with respect, with self-respect, and respect for others around us. So it becomes more and more clear that as we go a little bit deeper, the soul in Samadhi is really unlimited. We begin to taste that sense of Samadhi, that sense of cosmic consciousness within us, our true identity, as we begin to make greater efforts in our daily practice. So even if we start with 5 minutes a day, which is more than I started with 30 years ago, as we go a little bit deeper every day, initially we just dip our toe into the shallow end of the pool until we become comfortable enough maybe to wade in, and then ultimately to dive in from the deep end and completely immerse ourselves in those waters of meditation, in those waters of cosmic consciousness and ever new bliss. So as we go a little bit deeper in our fellowship with the true self and with the source of the true self, whether we call that nirvana or God or, again, simply self, the true self, then we begin to recognize that there is this harmony between us and our environment, and that leads us ever deeper. I wanted to pause there with the explication of these few lines from my own book and come to here a particular poem of Yogananda's, and it's called Flight, page 150, from Songs of the Soul. Flight, an experience in Samadhi. I closed my eyes and saw the skies of dim opalescent infinity spread round me. The gray sky chariot of the dawn, of awakening, displaying searchlight eyes, came and took me away. I zoomed through space, boring through the ether of mystery. I passed through age-hidden spiral nebulae. Willy-nilly I went on and on, left, right, north, south, above and below. I found no landing. I went through many tailspins of distractions, but I spun through limitlessness. I whirled through an eternal furnace of lights. At last, bit by bit, my plane melted in that transmuting flame. And then, bit by bit, my body melted in that purifying fire. Bit by bit, my thoughts melted. My feelings became pure, liquid light. A beautiful poem by Paramahansa Yogananda, who is able to experience that samadhi in its absolute fullness, the full rapture of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, which we are able to retain in our everyday lives, even after we have that initial experience of Sabhikalpa Samadhi, where we're absorbed in that infinite stillness, a kind of no-thingness, some suggest. So after that no-thingness, we enter into that all-thingness, that everythingness, realizing our body as the one cosmic body, a body of bliss. Namaste. It's real.